The folklore that I heard was that, Iloilo was like a big trade hub. So, you get different people, like a lot of Chinese people like moved into Iloilo. I guess when the Spaniards were there, they would like alert each other that they were getting close by. And so, they called them the Moors, the Moros. And then so the folk story goes that, they would shout Moro like in the streets to like tell people that they were coming. That because of the language and they don't have R's in the language, they came out as Molo. As to whether or not that's like 100% fact,
or just like hearsay.
Yeah, hearsay. But I kind of thought it was like a cool story.
Hey guys, in today's episode you'll meet a new friend, Ria Dolly Barbosa of Petite Peso, and a good friend of Nico from Lasa. And if you want to check out Nico's video on how to make some bomb kapampangan corn dishes, check it out over here. But thankfully, because of Nico, I was able to meet Ria and film this episode with her. Ria, like the many other Filipino chefs you've seen so far, has been classically trained with French food and has had many notable accomplishments, such as being nominated for Eater LA 2018's Best New Chef of the Year, and also opening up one of LA's most famous like brunch casual breakfast joints called Squirrel. But her most recent endeavor has led her full circle back to her Philippine roots with Petite Peso. And here you'll learn how to make a dish native to her memories and to her region of the Philippines called Pancit Molo. Hey guys, today I'm at Petite Peso with my friend Ria, who will be teaching us how to make Pancit Molo, which is kind of a misnomer because when you think of pancit, you think of like a noodle dish, but this is actually chicken and dumplings, as you would say. Yeah, as you would say.
Yeah.
When I think Iloilo, the four dishes that come into my mind are Pancit Molo, bok choy, kansi, and then chicken inasal. Wait for these four videos because you'll learn how to cook 4 staple Ilonggo dishes.
For Pancit Molo, you need a whole or half chicken. You kind of want the bones in there because you kind of want to make the broth from it. I like to do ground pork. You can also add chopped up shrimp for the dumplings. But for the dumplings itself, ground pork, ginger, garlic, scallion, fish sauce. And then, of course, you need wonton wrappers. And that's pretty much it.
Because you grew up in Iloilo
Yes.
until you were 6 years old. So I've only had it twice in my life when I was living in the Philippines and I went there. And I mean, to me, it was just another surprising dish that I had never heard of. And for you guys, you may have seen another example of Ilonggo food through my friend Yana, who cooked bok choy. So the first part would be making the dumpling mixture. The second part would be starting the chicken broth. Probably want to start that first, just so that you can have it simmering and tender by the time you're done making the dumplings. And then the third part is shredding the chicken.
Yes.
As you guys can see, we've pre-mixed the pork with all of the aromatics that Ria mentioned, and we have begun folding some earlier just to expedite the whole process.
So you kind of have this chicken base, right? And I like to think of these little dumplings as like flavor bombs.
Yeah.
You get the pork and I like to put in ginger. That's not a super typical addition, but I think between the pork and the chicken, it adds a really nice flavor. The most important part is actually the broth, which we have simmering. I take a whole chicken and with enough water to cover, and then just pretty much let it simmer, like drawing out all of the flavor from the bones and from the meat. At least for an hour, preferably 2 if you can spare the time. Dumplings, though, because there are so many like aromatics and really like strong flavors in there, it kind of like seasons the broth too, which is kind of cool. For my family, anyway, for us it was like special occasion food growing up. It was something that we kind of like spent all day doing. 4 or 5 families that coming together kind of need to make like at least 100.
Exactly, yeah.
So it was like an all day thing. Totally worth it. So the next part is to shred the chicken. I like to keep the skin in it, or if you want, you can pull the skin off and roast it and crisp it so you can have some nice crunchy chicken skin at the end. I don't like to shred it too fine because I like the big chunks. It's hearty. It's homey that way.
Juicy. If you want to go above and beyond, you can make your own wontons for the wrappers. But go to Whole Foods, go to Seafood City,
save yourself some trouble?
So you just want to get your chicken broth up to like a simmer, like this. And then once it's going, that's when we'll drop the wontons. And a good trick to knowing when they're done is that they will float. So once they have floated and are cooked, we're gonna add the shredded chicken back in.
Yeah. And then just like let it simmer for like a little bit longer.
Just a little bit, just to like let the flavors mix.
Got it. Very quick and easy. I feel like this is one of those things you could also just like
do ahead.
Yeah, do ahead, like make in bulk and then freeze it.
Yes, absolutely. You know it's good when it gets quiet.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, but yeah. Overall, it's like very simple. You guys should, 10 out of 10 make this at home. I feel like definitely doable and nice to have during the coming winter months.
Oh yeah.
As always, the ingredients and recipe will be down below in the description box. Yeah, if you're in LA, check out Petite Peso. Get some takeout from Ria. Try some of the wonderful things she has on her rotating menu.
My partners, they already had the name like chosen. And they liked peso because the Philippine peso has been undervalued for quite some time, still probably is. Kind of found some similarities between that and the food, and so, they kind of wanted to show that there is value, so it's pretty deep. There were plenty of times growing up where it was like, I referred to it as like poor food. I'm pretty sure I broke my mom's heart, or my dad's, my mom and dad's heart like so many times.
Thank you guys for watching. In summary, Pancit Molo is a, wonton dumpling soup, chicken-based soup. Bam.
That's it.
Like comforting home soul food. Specific to the islands of Iloilo in the Visayas of the Philippines. Check this recipe out. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Let me know what you want to see made next in the comment box down below. Cheers.